Hola, it's Benny Fergusson here. Today we're talking about pole standing. Now we're using the pole to basically give you a guide as to your position when you're in standing meditation. It's very useful for you to build more internal reference points to get started in the standing meditation process. So I'll take you through it very simply. So the intent of this is to not create a leaning post. That's not what it's about. It's to give you a guide alone. So if you follow these principles and apply them consistently, then your structure will slowly start to soften and change. So when we say that term soften, that's the intent, is to soften into the pole. So all you'll need for this is a pole, or you can also use a wall. Now to get started, I recommend you start with your heels back in line with the wall. So here the pole's a little bit out, so I'll find my heel position. And in time we can adjust as needed, but let's start at the top and then work our way back. Now we go through the same process of release that you begin with in the standing meditation process. So we inhale and expand, we exhale and release, and then we go through the 7 points. Inhale, expand through the feet, exhale, release through the feet. Inhale, expand through the back of the ankles. Exhale, release through the back of the ankles. Notice how I'm slowly sinking down. Inhale, expand through the backs of the knees. Exhale, release through the backs of the knees. Notice how I'm just gradually softening into the pole. Inhale, expand through the hips and the spine. Exhale, release through the hips and the spine. Now you should feel the weight coming down into your feet or your legs if you are holding tension in the hip. Your spine should be starting to flatten out on the pole. Now we address the shoulders and the head and the neck and the elbows and the wrists. So inhale, expand the shoulders, exhale, release the shoulders, let them sink down. Inhale, expand the elbow, exhale, release the elbow, let that sink down. Inhale, expand the wrists and hands, exhale, release. The last point we come is to the head. Now a lot of people have forward head postures, so to really force it back in the beginning might be too much. So we need to just perform that release process and just gradually draw the chin back and gently lift the head up. So you sort of be just looking a little bit down. So here's one last finer detail about the release and the softening and the expansion of the neck. What you want to make sure that you don't do is end up like this, just being governed by the head. You want to start to release through the throat notch. So imagine that this is being drawn in. See the difference there? At the start this will feel weird and you might feel like you're actually leaning back, but just pay attention, that might be actually telling you lies, because if you're able to come off the pole, well, you're not leaning back, you're actually directing your weight downwards. This is just a new experience for your body, so it can feel a bit strange at the beginning. So draw, so inhale, draw in, exhale, let the head lift up. And you should feel the back of the skull just gently touching on the pole or the wall. So we'll go through that process again. So inhale and expand all of the 7 points. As you get better at this, you can do it all in one breath. So we inhale, expand feet, ankles, backs of knees, hips and spine, shoulders, elbows, hands. Exhale, release. All of those points. So I'll just give you a real-time demo. So inhale, expand. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And what I'm looking to do is just soften into the pole. Notice I can move away from the pole at any point. I'm not here leaning back, so then it's hard to get off the pole or the wall. So if you are here at the beginning, then sit back. You shouldn't be far enough away that you'll fall back into it. So just adjust. So the way to progress it is just go to your 40 to 50% point if you are working on an injured area, or your 70% point if you're working on healthy tissue. It's not about forcing yourself into this flat position. It's about using this as a reference point and gradually in time learning to soften into this linear structure. So the principle is when we have a hard surface, then it teaches the body to be soft. And that's what you're learning here, to really soften into the pole. You're going to notice more weight will come down into your legs than maybe what you've noticed before. And you don't need to go this deep to start. I've had quite a lot of practice to get to this point. Just go as deeply as you can. You might start, make sure I got my footwork correct, you might start here. And then in time, or throughout the set, you'll slowly start to soften into it. Feel your hips soften and your lower back soften into the pole. You don't want to just force the tuck like that to get in contact. Everything should just be a natural process. Your body should feel like the breath is moving the whole structure. At least that's what you're working towards. The main kinesthetic experience that you're looking to feel throughout the pole standing is that of a gentle stretching and strengthening effect. What we're really actually doing is we're softening the body, learning how to become aware of all of the major joints and major muscles and also the fascia system, and we're learning to stretch the tissue so then the body is able to align more easily, and also strengthen the tissue so then the body's able to stack itself and hold itself up. So there's a lot of things going on there. So pay attention to familiar kinesthetic cues that you might be familiar with. So strengthening, so that feeling of there might be a slight burning sensation in the muscles, but we don't want to overdo it so we create tension. There might be a slight stretching feeling, but we don't want to overdo it so we end up cutting off circulation. So look for those experiences and make sure you don't go over the 70% point of your 100% threshold. And that's how you perform pole standing. Now, take the next step and practice this consistently and notice your body softening over time.